Now to some very exciting news about a planned SpaceX flight for a man who's already pushed boundaries in space. 21 years ago, American businessman Dennis Tito was the first person to pay to go to space. His mission to the International Space Station lasted 8 days. Now, 82 years old, Tito plans to go back to space with someone very close to him and travel even farther than before. First on CBS Mornings, Tito spoke with Janet Shamlian about his new mission and who he's bringing along.
He was the world's first space tourist.
California millionaire Dennis Tito is on his way to the International Space Station. He blasted into orbit early this morning aboard a Russian rocket.
Dennis Tito dropped $20 million on a 2001 trip aboard a Russian Soyuz spacecraft.
He glided through the hatch of the International Space Station wearing a Russian cosmonaut's uniform and a delighted grin.
Called the most expensive vacation in history.
It was paradise. Paradise. I just came back from paradise. I've been thinking about it every day since.
Now, Dennis Tito is vowing to do it again. We met the retired businessman and his wife Akiko at the SpaceX Starbase facility in South Texas, where he announced he intends to go back to space, this time with SpaceX, and taking Akiko along for the ride, a week-long flyby of the moon.
Did they propose it to you?
I brought it up.
You said, can I orbit the moon, please?
That's what I'm interested in. I will not go back to Earth orbit. I've been there, done that.
Their ride to the moon? SpaceX's Starship rocket.
When you guys look at this, like, what do you think?
That's amazing.
It's off the chart.
When Starship is hoisted atop its super heavy booster, it will be almost 400 feet tall, 33 engines firing to blast it off the launch pad, twice as powerful as NASA's Artemis moon rocket. Starship, designed to be fully reusable, is still in development. SpaceX has nailed some test flights, others erupting in fireballs.
What gives you confidence this is going to work?
Every time a rocket explodes, you learn something. So the more rocket explosions we see, the better, because then we'll get all the bugs out of it.
Realistically, when do you think you'll fly?
I take the worst case, 5 years.
That would put the California man close to 90 years old, 82 now. He says he feels great.
I am probably in better physical shape than I was 21 years ago.
Akiko Tito is a commercial pilot who, like her husband of 2 years, says she's always been interested in space.
We're going to make it happen together as a couple.
You were all on board. You had no hesitation?
I have no hesitation.
Not for a minute?
Not for a minute.
Tito's flight would be the second Starship lunar flyby, the first booked by a Japanese billionaire. 10 other yet-to-be-named crew members would join the Titos.
Myself being in my early 80s will be very inspiring to people of all ages, because they'll now be able to start to think about their golden years. And maybe it's not going to be a rocking chair. Maybe it's going to be a
rocket ship?
A rocket chair.
After shelling out $20 million for the last trip, Tito won't say how much he's paying for what he's calling a post-nuptial vacation.
We got married during COVID. So we didn't have a chance really to have a honeymoon. So maybe this is our honeymoon.
For CBS Mornings, Janet Shamlian at SpaceX Starbase in South Texas.